Hey boo, hey. How you be, y'all? I ain't got time for the whole introduction because I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to get through all this stuff. But here we are with the fourth week of Trump's second term. And we're gonna make a diary account of all of the bullshit that has happened this week. So we're going to get through it. I'm going to try not to play so many videos because I believe that is what keeps us here, me here too long. I just want to thank everyone who has been liking all of my stuff on TikTok because that's really where I post all of my political stuff. My goodness. And I thank everybody for all that good stuff. So let's get into what has happened this week, goddammit. Okay, so this is y'all know if I'm gonna play anything, it's going to be some of Jasmine Crockett. But this is when Jasmine was talking about the fact that the administration wanted to fire people and then they wanted to bring them back and didn't know how to bring them back. So this is her talking about that briefly.
Nonsense. It's just that they're idiots. I mean, these are the same guys, remember, as it relates to our nuclear stockpile, right? They're like, oh, wait a minute, we needed those guys? Yeah. Oh, can we get them back? Oh, we don't know how to. Like, I don't know how anyone in this country can look at this administration and feel some semblance of any type of confidence, right? And this is all at the same time. Like, Elon doesn't want us talking about the fact that he has received almost $1 billion worth of new contract money from the U.S. government in just 2 weeks. Yep. $400 million for Tesla and over $300 million for SpaceX. This is nothing more than a money grab. He's not out there trying to save money for the American people. That's not what he's doing. He's lining his pockets. And at the same time, he's outraging people who don't know exactly how we spend our money and how it benefits us to make sure that things like HIV and AIDS doesn't become the worldwide pandemic that it used to be. Yeah. Exactly. Same thing with everything else that we're deal with it. It's not even just nonsense.
So she hit it right on the nose. And that's exactly what it is. We don't even know what is really being spent. We don't know where our tax dollars really go. There is no website where we can go on to find out exactly what my 100 or 200 whatever dollars from my taxes went toward. What pothole was fixed? You know, what was done? We don't know. So can we how about Elon and Donald got to give us a 5-point presentation or whatever the hell and let us know what the hell they did this week besides what we see on TV in real terms, what they really doing. That's just how I feel. Was there ever a place where we could truly find out what's going on? No. And that's the thing. That is the problem. That is one of the problems. We've never just known. We just allow the government to be the government and think that they're making everything great and nothing's happening. Simply because of the fact that, hey, KK, hey, boo, hey. Y'all can hear me, right? Because I'm not showing my face at all. I just want to make sure that the mic is still picking up. Let me know if y'all can hear me. It's so amazing. It's almost like church. You're supposed to tithe and pay offering, but in the words of Steve Harvey, these people ain't put a doorknob on the church. Ain't that true? That is the truth. That is what's really going on. I understand. I get that. Yep. I'm a federal employee under Elon attack. Keep us in your prayers. Definitely will. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? When I'm not on screen. I usually don't take myself off screen, but I don't put myself on screen for this. But can y'all hear me when I'm talking? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, just make sure. Thank you. Thank you for answering me, KK. Thank you. Okay, now On to the next. So like I said, we are not going to spend too long trying. All right, this is A Girl Has No President Road. This should scare everyone. I mean, the only people who seem to think this is a great idea are people who are dumb enough to not realize how poorly it's going to affect them. MSNBC federal prosecutor Dennis Chung, who has been at the Justice Department for more than 24 years, resigned rather than carry out what he described as orders from Trump-appointed officials to take actions unsupported by evidence. According to a copy of her resignation letter obtained by NBC News, MSNBC legal analyst Andrew Wiseman explains the significance to Nicole Wallace on Deadline White House. So let's let him explain to us what this really means for us.
That they're idiots. I mean, these are...
Denise Chung, full disclosure, I've known her for many, many years. She's not a friend, but she's a colleague. Many people have known her. I think one of the things that you and Ryan have pointed out, she's been a prosecutor since for 24 years. That means she is used to serving under many different administrations. Right. I want to make sure people understand, though, what is being said here, what the import is. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, I'm not going to get too nerdy, that is all about protecting all of our privacy. It requires that there's factual predication before there is a search and before there is a seizure. That factual predication means there has to be probable cause. What Denise is saying in her resignation letter is she looked at all of the evidence that was given to her by the Deputy Attorney General's office, and she did not see probable cause. She did not even see enough to really go forward at all. She said, maybe you should look at something, but you cannot issue a freeze letter. Just to be clear, a freeze letter is not some, oh, this is a nice little letter. It's seizing an account. Under the Fourth Amendment, that is a seizure. It requires probable cause. It is a constitutional prohibition on what the government can do unless it has that factual predication. And she is saying, I looked at this, my career people looked at this, and we could not go forward. And she is being told, do it anyway. For her to be saying, I cannot do this, it's because it is so...
That is crazy. Do it anyway. They will stop at nothing at this point. Absolutely nothing. Let's see. During President Trump's press conference last night, a reporter questioned him about potential conflicts of interest regarding Elon Musk's employees working at the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and the Department of Defense, two agencies that regulate Musk's companies and hold billion-dollar contracts with them. In response, Trump stated, I am just hearing about it, and shared that he had previously told Musk any conflicts he won't let Elon partake in, including space activities. He also referenced an upcoming appearance with Musk on Sean Hannity's show, which we'll get to, where he claimed they would discuss various topics. So let's see what this piece of shit had to say.
Full disclosure, I've known her.
Mr. President, given your concerns about corruption, you said that if there were any conflicts of interest with Elon Musk, you wouldn't let him anywhere near it.
That's right.
Doge and SpaceX employees are now working directly at the Federal Aviation Administration and the Defense Department, agencies that have billions of dollars in contracts with Musk's companies or that directly regulate his companies. How is that not a conflict of interest?
Well, I mean, I'm just hearing about it. And if there is, and he told me before I told him, but obviously I will not let there be any conflict of interest. He's done an amazing job. They've revealed, in fact,
it's the fact that he can just lie with no conviction now is amazing. Phyllis family says, so if there's a possibility that Social Security and Medicaid are closed down, taken away, the government will be looking at no longer taking it out of employees' paychecks, right? I mean, that's the way it should go. That is the way it should go. That's what I'm saying. So I feel that what they'll probably do once they take it away, they're going to implement something. And however it's going to go, it's just going to line him in Elon's pockets even more. I mean, how does the richest man become even the richest man in 1 month? I just don't understand it. I'm pissed off. I'm so fucking pissed off. What is this? Well, so we still got airplanes fucking up, of course. This is from the Daily Mail. This was 6 days ago. At least 2 people are dead after 2 planes shockingly collided at Arizona's Marana Airport on Wednesday morning. Images circulating social media show black smoke over the airport outside Tucson, with reports indicating both planes were occupied when they collided. It is unclear how the victims lost their lives, nor what the cause of the collision was. We're going to pray and be happy. Dina, a.k.a. Christina, my boo-bae, she made it safely to her destination. Curacao, wherever the hell she went, she made it to her room. And I'm sure she's nice and lit right now. I'm going to fuck with her after I get off of here and see what she up to. But I know she was having a time. So, yes, she made it safe. Or like that son fucking Hannah. Oh, Lord, that son fucking Hannah. Yeah, him. Yep. There it goes again. This was crazy. This looks bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. There were 2 people on board each aircraft, a Lancair and a Kensa, whatever the hell, according to Federal Aviation Administration. Reports state the aircraft collided while upwind of runway 12, according to preliminary information from the National Transportation Safety Board. Goodness gracious. What the hell? Reload, please. Okay. Okay, is this? What the hell? Okay, why is it showing like this? Hold on. Okay. It's still not showing. It's showing weird. Hold on. Let me fix this. Because how is it looking like this? It doesn't let me out. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's start from the beginning. Fuck. What is this? Says President Trump must need to press forward with mass layoffs. Oh, fuck off. We'll save that and read that when we get to it. Okay, let me go back to shared shit. I don't know what had happened was. Oh, Joy. Oh, yeah, we have a lot to talk about, don't we? Hold on, I'm just trying to get back to where we were before my computer had the bejesus scared out of them for whatever reason. Come on, take that. Come on. Oh, boosie ass. We should be almost there. Just to realize that I just be all week long, just be saving this shit. So this should just be in my mind all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shouldn't even be the case. Okay, I think I've gone too far now. Yeah, definitely gone too far. Oh, 3 weeks ago. Okay. So how was everybody's Tuesday? Was it wonderful? Was it great? Was it happening? We almost there. Click it, not to it. We should almost be to that point of no return. God damn. We almost there because this is a week away. As soon as we see that funny family picture, we know we at this week. I had to start putting in something non-political so I could find out where we left off, because last week trying to find where we were was some bullshit. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's where we started. Okay, here we go. No. Okay, so this is an interview with CNN. Caitlin Collins, former FAA employee Charles Statlander says he was working on an FAA defense program when he was fired on Friday. Statlander says Americans should be scared in the wake of several hundred FAA firings. And we have learned just not too long ago that Elon Musk's Starlink, whatever, has signed a contract with the FAA, and now he's even more richer. But let's listen. Okay, let me see what Phil's family is saying. I think it's extremely sad that Trump handed Musk that much power. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what you got on this man, because you have always been the one to wanted to have all of the power. You have always been the one to want to have everything. But you let this man who's richer than you come up, and now people are calling him the president, him the king, making EI videos of you kissing his feet and then putting him in the government building headquarters. Like, and you want to say you ain't mad? Like, bitch, please, you all the way mad. These pilots, instead of doing a bad rendition of Showland Man, child. I wonder how the people feel who voted for Trump. More and more they're coming out singing their sad stories when it affects them. It's quite wonderful, actually.
Regarding a deadly plane crash. A warning from one of the several hundred FAA employees who was just fired. I'm, quote, scared to death, and the American public should be scared too, is what we're hearing from Charlie Statlander, who says he was working on an urgent FAA defense program in Hawaii to detect incoming cruise missiles. He thought his job would be spared because it focused on national security. But on Friday, along with hundreds of other FAA probationary employees, he was fired. You say that the American public should be scared by your firing and the hundreds of your FAA colleagues as well. Why is that?
I do think the American public does need to be concerned. I gave that quote about being scared to death because, while I can't talk about the specifics of the project I worked on and what all I was doing, what I can tell you is that the FAA National Defense Program that I was a part of and was incredibly proud to work for the mission, to accomplish the mission of, has an incredibly important national security role. And I was working on incredibly important national security work.
The White House defended these cuts by saying no air traffic controllers nor any professionals who perform safety critical functions were terminated. Is that accurate from what you know?
So again, I was in the FAA National Defense Program, so I don't really have any knowledge on the air traffic controller side of that. But I can tell you that the second part of that, regarding public safety or critical public safety, from my perspective and the work I was doing, is a flat out false statement.
A warning from one of the several hundred FAA employees who was just fired. I'm, quote, scared to death, and the American public should be scared too, is what we're hearing from Charlie Statlander, who says he was working on an urgent FAA defense.
See what I'm saying? You would think a job in the government, top secret type of shit, would be the most secure job ever. But no. The highest ranking chief is worried about his job, while Carl, who's mopping the McDonald's floor, is chilling and just waiting on his paycheck so he can go out and have him a good time and enjoy his life. You see what I'm saying? Shit. Hey, y'all feeling what we feel? Y'all feeling what we feel? Continue. But you're right. Yes, Philip family, he ain't no young man. Don't we know it? Ha! The public should be scared. That almost sounds like a threat. He needs to be careful. I mean, he already lost his job. The only else thing he can lose is his his breath, if you know what I mean. So at this point, what are you gonna do? New York City, would you all put Cuomo back in office as the mayor this time, or keep Eric Adams? You know what? This ain't even fair. This ain't even a fair question. So would we take Cuomo back, or are we going to keep Eric Adams? Considering it's still Black History Month, my blacklist will not allow me to not say to keep Eric Adams. Ask me on the first. Ha! All right. But word on the street is New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is gearing up to run for New York City mayor, with an official announcement expected by the end of the month. So later on this week. So maybe this week or next Tuesday. You know, they all like to do shit on Tuesday. Cuomo, who stepped down as governor in 2021 after some serious controversy, has been keeping himself in the mix and dropping hints about a political comeback. If he jumps in, expect the race to get real interesting real fast. I mean, I don't understand why you think they're going to allow you to be governor, Andrew. You were just doing some controversial stuff. They just now about to let go of Eric Adams, probably because he's doing controversial stuff. People are leaving, high-ranking officials are leaving their job because Eric Adams got pardoned. You know, do you really think they're going to allow you to come in? I mean, you just the white devil. Eric Adams just the black one. That's all. You the white one. But you won't be my governor because I'm not in New York, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I mean, who are you gonna choose? Really? Because they both ain't shit. Not shit. But whatever, we'll see. So I guess we can expect an announcement later this week or next week. This is Tammy Baldwin. Says last night the president said, "I'm not touching Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, VA. I'm not touching them." By this morning, he endorsed the White House budget resolution, which paves the way for massive cuts to Medicaid. Now, that is what we just seen tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all don't know, just before we stepped on here, you know, the House and the Senate, you know, they went to the chambers, they thug thizzle, whatever they had to do, and they had their votes. And on agreeing with resolution as amended, the Republicans, yay, 2,217, one nay. I wonder who that one nay was as a Republican. I really do wonder. And of course, all the Democrats said nay, but you know, the Democrats are only 214 to the Republicans 218. So that didn't matter. And so that means that going forward, the House has nearly passed a Republican budget resolution that calls for $4.5 trillion in tax cuts and a $2 trillion reduction in federal spending over a decade. Okay, so this is over a decade. This goes on. The nearly party line vote of 217 to 215 teed up fight within the GOP over which federal programs to slash to finance a huge cut that provides its biggest benefits to rich Americans, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Tuesday night's vote itself was procedural. There are no policy details, and it is instead a framework for the eventual package. Republicans must pass an identical budget blueprint through both chambers before they can move on to passing a legislative package in the Senate on a party line vote without support from Democrats. So, of course, it's going to go through. There's no doubt about that. It's going to go through so smooth. It's going to glide down real easy. So, so this is Tammy Baldwin explaining her frustration and the bullshit on that. Let's listen to what she has to say.
The alarm. Last night, The president said, I'm not touching Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, whatever, VA, I'm not touching them. By this morning, he endorsed the House budget resolution, which paves the way for massive cuts to Medicaid. And people have got to be aware. We also have to explain what Medicaid does. You know, the posters that are here talk about who is covered. There's over 70 million Americans who get Medicaid, whether that is for seniors in long-term care, whether that is over 30 million children, Americans with disabilities. And it also is the lifeblood for some of our critical access rural hospitals, community health clinics, et cetera. Without Medicaid, many of those would disappear. And so we're sounding the alarm.
So yeah, that's where that's going to happen. So it was just past, you know, we've been on here for 25 minutes. It just passed about 45 minutes to an hour ago. All right. And so I'm sure they're, you know, going back and forth now or whatever, figuring out where exactly they're going to slash, which is crazy because it doesn't even matter because Trump and Elon are going to do whatever the fuck they want anyway. I don't know why they're wasting their time on half of this shit. It's crazy. Moving right along. This, you know, some of these things I just put in for comedy relief because we need a little bit of some, you know, and I hope I did enough for that last week when we did this. But this is Leslie Jones, and she's talking about her time with Trump when he was a guest on SNL. So let's listen to her moment.
Last night,
you saw me dressed up like Trump. I don't know if you ever seen that really hardcore picture where I'm just like looking up. It fucking great because I hated Trump. When Trump came there, oh man, I was punking the shit out of Trump.
What'd you do?
I was just like, shut the fuck up. Like, get away from the fucking cue cards. Like, like they had one sketch where they wrote where I was beating him up at the end. And of course that got cut.
You told him to shut the fuck up?
All the time. Like, shut up. Like, you're changing the card. You can't change the card. The fuck are you doing? Like, nobody was, I was like, yeah, he's the apprentice. Why are y'all scared of the apprentice? When you saw me dressed up like Trump, I don't know if you ever.
He said, why are y'all scared of the apprentice? I know that's right. So here is, he's on, I think this is when they're on Sean Hannity. Let's listen in and see what this bullshit was that they said.
Ever seen that really hardcore picture where I'm just.
Elon called me. He said, you know, they're trying to drive us apart.
I feel like I'm interviewing two brothers here.
I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. We settled on this guy.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm just trying to be useful here. I'm here to provide the president with technology support.
He's got some very brilliant young people working for him that dress much worse than him, actually.
Yeah,
they dress in just T-shirts.
Not once have I seen him do something that was mean or cruel or wrong.
I never knew that he was right on certain things.
He's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the president. I just want to be clear about that.
He's a brilliant guy. He's a great guy.
I think President Trump is a good man.
But he's also a good person. He's a very good person. He's going to go into orbit soon.
Okay.
I haven't asked the president for anything ever.
If there's a conflict, he won't be involved.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't want that, and he won't want it.
I'm getting a sort of a daily proctology exam here. You know, it's not like I'll be getting away from something in the dead of night.
Elon called me.
How can people sit here and think this man is not alien or robot or something else new that they have not yet to tell us in the world? It's like he's some. Oh my God! So that was that with them on Sean Hannity. That's just I could not even watch this whole entire thing. I couldn't and I wouldn't. What else is this? Yeah, taking it. Delta reportedly offers $30,000 to passengers of plane that flipped upside down in Toronto. No strings attached. Yeah, what's the catch? No strings attached, but what's the catch? There may not be no strings, but what's the catch? Yeah, Delta is offering $30,000 to each passenger on board. The plane flipped on the runway in Toronto, and the airline confirmed to ABC. Delta Care team representatives are telling customers the gesture has no strings attached and does not affect rights. I wish I was on that flight now. Yeah, right. Okay, this is Shawn Wyndham, who talked before Homegirl in the Purple. We saw her talk, and he said nobody should lose sight of what's happening this morning. Trump endorsed the House budget resolution. This resolution mandates that $880 billion in cuts. Some come from the House Energy and Commerce community. There is no plausible way to hit that target without hundreds of billions in cuts to Medicaid. So there's your answer even more, Phyllis family. There's no way they can get to that budget that they're trying to get to without cutting into Medicaid. So there you have it. There's your answer. This was hilarious. Actress Octavia Spencer says she's cooking up something special for the employees of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, channeling her The Help character, Minnie Jackson, who famously served her manipulative former employer, Hilly Holbrook, a chocolate pie laced with poop. Spencer took to social media with a cheeky post writing, "Bake sale for Washington to all Doge employees and supporters. I need good vanilla from Mexico and some Canadian maple syrup." She'd be funny as hell. "Limited edition pies, corn and chocolate, Lord Jesus." Spencer uploaded the caption along a photo from The Help, where Minnie represented the infamous pie to Hilly and boldly told her, "Eat my shit." She further in the post says, "Need lots of donations for the special ingredient. Eat lots of corn. One-time sale. Fill out the cards below. Who would you send a pie to?" And then they go on to say, Spencer's not so subtle dig at Doge aligns with growing criticism of the Musk-led agency. As you may recall, Trump announced the creation of the organization back in November, promising that Musk, alongside then co-lead Vivek Romanskis, would slash trillions from the federal budget, so on and so on. But I thought that this was great. And yes, I would love to donate any way that I can. I will eat all of the corn. I will take all of the laxative, drink all of the prune juice, and I will get you what you need. Okay? I ain't got no problem. Minnie, you can count on me. Just 4 weeks as president, Donald Trump has spent $10.7 million of taxpayer money on his golf trips. I don't know when the fuck that nigga be going golfing, except when I saw him golfing with Tiger Woods. Like, what the fuck? Yep. So approximately a month since taking office, Trump has used nearly $11 million to go on golf trips every weekend. The Huffington Post reports that each of the 4 weekends he's been in office, Trump has flown down to his Mar-a-Lago Country Club using a 2019 report by the Government Accountability Office that estimated an average of, oh my goodness, that's a lot of fucking money. $3,083,250 per trip. The math adds up to $10.7 million for all the trips Trump has taken. This includes expenses for Air Force One, transportation vehicles, and all the security measures that go into moving a president. Sit your fat ass down somewhere, nigga. This is probably the lower end given all the inflation that Trump promised he would tackle. But so far, his golf swing seems more important than his campaign promise to save average Americans money. Of course. My God. Anyways. It's interesting that the most famous white men in America are tech CEOs, political leaders, and thinkers. The most famous black men in America are rappers, athletes, and comedians. The black male is seen as an immature clown, while this is why our community hasn't built nearly anything. I can definitely get behind that and second that. Who is this? This is speaking on the U.S. DOT's decision to rescind approval for resignation pricing. New York Governor Kathy Hochul was critical of a post from President Trump where he wrote, "Long live the king." So they have really been riding this long live the king thing, right? And it goes on to say, New York hasn't labored under a king in over. She went on to say that New York hasn't governed over a king in 250 years. We sure as hell are not going to start now. So let's just listen to what she said from here.
We are not. We sure as hell. I don't care if you are not going to start now. The streets of this city where battles were fought. We stood up to a king and we won then. And in case you don't know, New Yorkers, we're in a fight. We do not back down. Not now, not ever. At 1:01 p.m. today, love congestion pricing or hate it. This is an attack on our sovereign identity, our independence from Washington. And this is, we are a nation of states. This is what we fought for. This is what people like Alexander Hamilton and others fought for, to set up a system where we are not subservient to a king or anyone else out of Washington.
Facts. Okay, this is when the senator dropped. Look at him.
Silver.
Senator John.
I wonder what they put in his coffee. Just playing. Dear Irene Renee Smith, IRS, you was kind, you was smart, you was important. This dude right here, Jesse Waters, doesn't realize he's advocating for DEI policies as he's talking out the left side of his mouth. So let's see what he had to say real quick.
A story about Chris. Chris was a guy I met at a shooting event in New Jersey last year.
Was Chris in the interview? Or this is another guy? This is Chris.
Is it a male or female?
Let me finish.
Oh,
55 billion.
I love you. And so he was a 20-year veteran of the U.S. military. He was one of these guys in one of these elite units, killed a lot of bad guys, put his life on the line. And now he punched out after 20 years and working for the Pentagon. And he's only been there a few months, so he's probationary. And he just found out he's probably going to get laid off. He's going to get doged. And he texted me and he said, Jesse, this isn't good. I'm upset. This is really sad. And this guy's not a DEI consultant. This guy's not a climate consultant. This guy is a veteran. So when you're talking about doging people, veterans should get priority. Because if you're going to go out there and kill enemies and put your life on the line for this country, you shouldn't be in the same category as people that are doing DEI. Now, Harold and his ilk like to talk about the slash and burn corporate ethos.
He's so stupid. He really did not realize what the hell he was doing. Like, are you that remedial? Obviously you are. Moving right along. This here, the State Department has officially designated several Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organization, FTOs, a label that carries significant legal and military implications. Historically, the U.S. avoided this designation due to concerns over potential military involvement and diplomatic tensions. In a related development, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, leader Elon Musk, see, they're calling him the leader, still has proposed the use of drone strikes against these groups. Within the FTO designation, the U.S. now has the authority to take military action against these cartels. You want to take their money. That's what you want to do. Potentially aligning with the DOGE leader's proposed plan of action. Per the Hill, the Secretary of State, Mark Rubio, said in a release that he is designating the cartels Tren de Agua, Mara Salva, MS-13, Cartel de Sinaloa. Ooh, I didn't know there are so many. Cartel de Jalisco, Nueva Generación, Cartelos Unidos, I'm trying to say this shit. Cartel del Noreste, Cartel de Golfo, and La Nueva Familia Michoacana. And terrorist groups that move that President Trump has pledged on the campaign trail and laid the groundwork for with an executive action on his first day in office. Rubio's designation is the latest Trump administration move to crack down on immigration and fentanyl flowing into the USA. However, it is unclear what direct penalties the organization could face financially. Child, that is too damn much. That's a lot of cartels. You know, he might want to sit this one out, because they might be the one to make that Simpsons episode pop off. For real, for real. I don't know why he want to fuck with them vatos. You better leave them vatos alone. Oh, this was rich.
My mom just got deported.
This was so hard to watch.
It's so not fair. It's so not fair. She's literally not a criminal. Like, she's literally just paid her taxes. She's literally just... We're not safe. No one's safe. Please. Hug your loved ones, please. My mom just got deported.
That's just hard to watch. And they, like he said, so the caption says they keep telling you that they are only after criminals when it comes to mass deportation. But this human's mom was recently deported, someone who has no criminal record whatsoever. And not just that, according to him, she just got done paying her taxes. So stop feeding into the lies that this administration is telling you. It's not just about going after criminals. When are we going to realize this? That this administration is nothing but liars. I don't understand who is still gullible to believe it. What will it take? What is this? This is not funny, but it was funny.
Got deported.
It's us, the Delta team,
who are there from the second you check in to the moment you land.
Making sure that whatever you have planned goes as planned.
Reliability is what we live by.
Every day.
It's the 141 days so far this year without a single canceled flight.
It's us, the Delta team,
who are there.
They wrong for this. Like, the internet is undefeated. We've already listened to her. This is where she's just saying the same thing. This is where she's talking about she mocked Trump's tweet while vowing to challenge the White House decision to revoke federal approval for New York City's congestion pricing program. The initiative aimed at reducing traffic and funding subway and bus upgrades was halted by U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. And y'all know Sean Duffy, because I'm a reality TV head. Sean Duffy is from like the first seasons, one of the first few seasons of The Real World, when The Real World started back in like 1990. Yeah, that long ago. He was on the fucking Real World. And now he is the Transportation Secretary, the U.S. Transportation Secretary. It's baffling. It's absolutely baffling. Y'all here for Kodak Black, Rod Wave were set to attend the White House for the Black History Month event. Now, they didn't even, from what I heard, someone told me that they didn't even perform. So why the fuck was you there? You weren't even there to be a jigaboo? Like, that's even, like, why were you even there? Like, you a wannabe? It just makes no sense. I just don't like it. But, yeah, Kodak Black, Lil Boosie, and Rod Wave. Kodak Black don't even know where the hell he is right now. Like, he don't know if he think he on Mars or in another lifetime or on a different dimension or something. He don't even know where the fuck he at. I get that. Boosie, he just trying to get him a pardon or whatever that he's never going to get. Rod Wave, I do not understand why the fuck you there. President Trump, to keep peace, you really have to have a thing, strength through, and I mean it. You really have it. You have strength, and you need strength, but it's really peace through strength. Like, he is retarded, but we're going to let him say what he's going to say. We're going to listen to it.
Peace, you really have to, I have a thing, strength through and I mean it. You really have it. You have strength, and you need the strength, but it's really peace through strength, because without the strength, it's going to be very hard to have peace, because you're going to be taken over. Bad things are going to happen. So you really want to have peace through strength, and that's. But
he sounds so stupid. Now, if this was Joe on stage as president doing this, he would call for him to be checked. This man needs to be checked. Simple as that. This was just downright, I do not get. Jaguar Wright received a major honor on Tuesday night at the President Mar-a-Lago estate. You know, where Lil Boosie and all them was being jigaboos at. Jaguar received the Defender of Freedom Award at an event hosted by America's Future Inc., a nonprofit organization that is committed to preserving the Judeo-Christian value that makes America exceptional. A statement about the award read, Jaguar Wright, a voice of truth and courage. Tonight, Jaguar Wright was honored with the Defender of Freedom Award, presented by General Michael Flynn, in recognition of her fearless dedication to the truth and justice. Would that mean the dedication to her truth and justice of going around on YouTube and any other platform anywhere talking about Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and the Hollywood industry? Like, what? Anyway, in recognition of her fearless dedication to the truth and justice, as a bold and unapologetic voice to the fight of transparency and accountability, Jaguar continues to shine a light where others fear to tread. I mean, anyway, it goes on to say the organization's chairman, Michael Flynn, former director of the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, presented their recognition. Reports note that Flynn pleaded guilty in 2017 to make the false statements to the FBI regarding communications with Russian ambassador Sergei, Kislyak, whatever that name is. A charge later pardoned by Trump, of course. So far, no further details have been shared about Wright's recognition, but the singer has made a number of controversial claims about other celebrities in recent years. Most notably, she accused Jay-Z and Beyonce of being monsters, claiming in an interview with Piers Morgan last year that they had kidnapped and assaulted multiple women over the years. Her comment came amid Diddy's ongoing blank trafficking case, which at the time her remarks were made include one of plaintiffs accusing Jay-Z and Diddy of S.A.ing her as a minor. However, the case was dismissed earlier this month, and Pierce went on to issue a public apology to Jay-Z and Beyonce over Wright's claims shortly after the interviews aired. Y'all remember that whole thing when they sent like a cease and desist and he had to take down the whole thing, or he had to apologize publicly and all of that. They say, do you think Jaguar Wright deserves the honor? Hell no, because until we find out if she was really telling the truth or not, what? This is crazy. I mean, maybe she's telling the truth about some shit, but you can't, not all of this. This is just too much. Anyway, moving on. We already saw them. An ex-NFL punter arrested after calling MAGA a Nazi movement. Yeah. This is NFL punter Chris Cluey. He was arrested after speaking out of the city council meeting in California, which he compared Donald Trump's MAGA supporters to Nazi. 43 played for several teams before retiring in 2013 and later made a name for himself by supporting same-sex marriage and being outspoken against religion.
MAGA stands for resegregation and racism. MAGA stands for censorship and book bans. MAGA stands for firing air traffic controllers while planes are crashing. MAGA stands for firing the people overseeing our nuclear arsenal. MAGA stands for firing military veterans and those serving them at the VA, including canceling research on veteran suicide. MAGA stands for cutting funds to education, including for disabled children. MAGA is profoundly corrupt, unmistakably anti-democracy, and most importantly, MAGA is explicitly a Nazi movement. You may have replaced a swastika with a red hat, but that is what it is. I will now engage in the time-honored American tradition of peaceful civil disobedience.
Get the heck. Get out.
You want comedy to be legal, whatever the fuck that means. But you arrest this man for stating his opinion, whether it be popular or not. Moving right along. The White House shares a video about DEI. We've killed DEI. DEI is dead. Under the Trump administration. It gets more, the White House Instagram page gets more interesting every day. It really does. But let's listen a little bit.
It's gone. DEI is dead at the VA. DEI is dead at the EPA.
We've killed DEI at the Department of Energy. We're bringing meritocracy, the American way, back.
One of the first actions that we took was to take down the Biden era equal access rule with President Trump's leadership to ensure that biological truth is restored back at HUD as it pertains to HUD-funded facilities like women's shelters.
Proud to be on Trump's team to get rid of the nonsense and bring back common sense to Washington, D.C. At the Energy Department, we started with a focus on adding energy, not subtracting energy. That was the agenda of the Biden administration.
I'm excited about the last 30 days. I tell you what, we hit the ground running.
This is hilarious. DEI is way too much. It really is. DEI gonna get some people in some trouble real quick. This sicko got a chainsaw.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw.
It's just crazy. It's just too much. He was gifted that. They gifted him that. Yeah, that was a gift. They gifted this crazy man a chainsaw. Yes, they did. See? At the annual convention, Conservative Political Action Conference in Maryland, the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, gifted Elon Musk a silver chainsaw. This is a chainsaw for bureaucracy. Musk shouted as he wielded the chainsaw in his ugly hat. Man, that is the ugliest alien robot I've ever seen. That man is just so ugly. Oh, here's a funny.
And I get about 400 miles on tank, so it's a lot.
So you got this huge truck here, and it's running right now, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to charge my phone.
So you're running the truck to charge the phone?
Yeah.
But you're concerned about gas prices?
Well, I'm not really concerned. It's one of those things you got to have it. So, but it'd be nice.
Even if you got to run the truck to charge the phone?
Yeah. Fill it up. It's about 160, and I get about 400 miles.
I mean, how stupid can you be? Oh, here we go. Tiger Woods and Kodak Black among the guests who attend the White House's reception honoring Black History Month. Let's see what the fuck this motherfucker. What did he say? Wait, it went back too fast. Hold on.
Thanks, Tiger.
Whatever.
And I want to thank all of you very much for being here. Welcome to the White House, and we proudly...
I don't even want to hear him. But here goes Kodak Black in the White House, looking like they scrubbed every inch of the ground he walked on when they left.
So here is my transgender baby. Her name is Bella. Bella was born a boy, but now uses she, her pronoun. I'm in the middle of trying to get a doctor's appointment in order to secure some medication to stop the male hormone taking over. Bella is 14 months old and is thriving in her new body. Now she's able to be who she was born to be. Trapped in the wrong body at such a young age has had a massive impact on young Bella's mental health. But with the right medication, we are going to get through it as a family. Just secured a grant as well to help Bella in her transition. So all costs have been covered, and it's such a relief. She gets to be who she wants to be. This is all she's wanted for years now, and we couldn't be any more happier.
You know what? What the hell is this? Are we being punked? Are we fucking being punked? Really? You know, I have to agree with this person who wrote, "This is one thing Trump and I agree on." Lady, you do need Jesus or whatever the hell you pray to. If you do it all, this is part of what's wrong with the world on our end, and why we, oh my Lord, you just say you always wanted a girl and you mad you got a boy. Just say that. Just say that. Just say that. And now you forcing your child to be the girl that you couldn't have because your man don't want you to have another kid, or your man left you and you don't want to have 2 baby daddies. And now you're trying to force this child to be something that is not. This child is about to be messed up for the rest of his life. Moving on. This here is National Security Advisor Mike Waltz saying why we're getting this pushback and bad mouthing in the press for all administration has done in his first term as well, and all the United States has done for Ukraine. It's unacceptable. They need to tone it down and take a hard look and sign that deal. Oh my fucking God. I'm not even going to encourage listening. This muskrat here. When asked about the hockey game between the U.S. and Canada happening Thursday, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said she's looking forward to the U.S. beating our soon-to-be 51st state. They still talking about that mess. Like, bitch, get over it.
President watching for the goals or for the fights?
Probably both. I think he's watching for the United States to win tonight. So he looks forward to watching the game tonight, and we look forward to the United States beating our soon-to-be 51st state, Canada.
And when there is
I can't stand her. I really, really cannot stand her so much. So much. Here's our boy, Bernie Sanders. He says the struggle against Trump, the struggle against oligarchy, which is led by Elon Musk, that's not going to be won here in Capitol Hill. It's going to be won by millions of people all over this country standing up and saying, we fought and died for democracy. We're not going to move toward authoritarianism.
And died for democracy. We're not going to move toward authoritarianism. We fought to create a country that works for all, not just the billionaire class. That's the struggle, and I'm going to be active in trying to rally the American people to do just that. At the end of the day,
I love Bernie. We've seen enough of him. Oh, this vagina face. He got a vagina for a face. It's not about his face. It's just, he looks fake to me too. But in here, Donald Trump let him out to play and gave him an assignment. Our culture sends a message to young men that you should suppress every masculine urge. My message to young men is don't allow this broken culture to send you a message that you're a bad person because you're a man, because you like to tell a joke, because you like to have a beer with your friends. This is him talking about the whole thing of making comedy legal. Like, what are you even talking about? We'll listen a little bit because I can't stand him.
Our message, the cultural message, and I think the president's and mine is the exact opposite, but our cultural message is, I think that it wants to turn everybody, whether male or female, into androgynous idiots who think the same, talk the same, and act the same. We actually think God made male and female for a purpose, and we want you guys to thrive as young men and as young women, and we're going to help with our public policy to make it possible to do that.
Oh my God. I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. Some federal employees took Trump's resignation offer. Then they got fired any fucking way. Ain't that fucked up? The Washington Post the Trump administration's sweeping offer of deferred resignations, which the government says will allow workers to get paid until September, was to many a guarantee of short-term financial security amid the turmoil of massive cuts in the federal workforce. But across agencies, some probationary employees were mistakenly fired after taking or attempting to take the offer, according to interviews with dozens of federal workers and records obtained by the Post. And now, Trump administration officials and agency leads are scrambling to fix their blunders and get back in touch with employees who have lost access to government emails and work devices. You guys are idiots. This is obviously the case of the right hand not talking to the left hand in every possible way, said Deborah Agostino, a founding partner of the DC-based Federal Practice Group, which represents civil servants. I was just pull the trigger and clean up the mess later, she said. It was just pull the trigger and clean up the mess later, she said. And that's exactly what it was. And they're still cleaning up the mess. So that's their problem. Moving right along. Back at CPAC, Republican activists are pushing the Third Term Project, an initiative that seeks to amend the Constitution to allow a third term for President Trump. Hell, fuck, ass, no. I am really hoping by at some point everybody as a collective realizes what the fuck they did wrong, and this will not happen. See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to say because of the fact that Trump didn't run 2 terms consecutively, that it doesn't count, so he should be able to run again for another term. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but I guarantee you if they succeed on that during that time, they are going to work on making it so he can be king or some shit like that, overturn the government all completely, and then he's going to try to be king and remain the dictator of the United States until he dies. Donald Trump appoints Alice Johnson, the woman Kim Kardashian helped release from prison in 2018, as his pardon czar. We're going to be listening to her recommendations for pardons. Dear Jesus Lord. Alice Johnson, the Tennessee woman whose life sentence for a nonviolent drug offense she commuted in 2018, and his new clemency advisor or pardon czar, who received a full pardon in 2020, will now help Trump identify cases where pardons may be warranted. During the announcement, Trump raised Johnson's journey, noting Alice was in prison for doing something that today probably wouldn't even be prosecuted. He commended her as an inspiration and expressed confidence in her ability to recommend cases involving individuals facing similar circumstances. I'm surprised. I'm still what he gonna do to her. Plus she's minority. And then it's Lil Kim, Lord Jesus, Kim Kardashian. Anyways, what is this? Transportation Secretary, there he goes, Sean Duffy, Mr. Real World with the Coke bottle glasses and the white boy bowl haircut. Sean Duffy gets relentlessly booed today in California when he attacks a high-speed rail project that Californians have wanted for decades. Let's hear the boo.
You're going to have people who love fraud, who love waste, who love trains to nowhere. But all of us up here, we do not love fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Boo-hoo. Musk makes false claims, election claim at CPAC. A false election claim Elon Musk during his appearance at the Conservative Political Action Conference. Let's see what this is.
Voter importation scam. A quote, voter importation scam, end quote, coming from someone who happens to be from another country and involved in United States civics, which is fine. There's a legal way to do that. Since he is broadcasting this out with huge power, he is now a type of government employee, and he's got X. Let's make sure we deal with what he's broadcasting out here. The United States does not allow non-citizens to vote. There is extensive oversight and data on this, and it rarely ever happens as an...
I just put this down that this just goes to show that even political hosts, pundits, attendants, whatever you call them, they have to spend their time, their hour on their show fact-checking the false statements that these two make on a daily basis, an hourly basis, if that, or a question basis, an answering basis, whatever you call it. Every time they answer a question, it's a lie. Where are we at? And here is John Thune. It says, you fond of saying that the agriculture is the lifeblood of South Dakota, yet your farmers who are already struggling face additional headwinds, including contract freezes, staff firings, including inadvertent ones affecting bird flu responders, and also the interruption of overseas food aid. How does all of this make sense when food prices are already through the roof? And exactly, he's shit. How do you? But let's just listen a little bit.
Well, look, I think we all know that the administration, the new administration, is giving a very careful scrub to the government, to all the agencies of the government, to figure out how we can do things more efficiently and save money for the American taxpayer. It's important in doing that you don't undermine important services. In many cases, as you point out, there are some that affect my state. There are some that affect all of my colleagues' states around the country. And we will work with the administration as they move forward to ensure that important services that have to do with health and safety, for example, are protected and preserved. But I think we all understand that this government, federal government, is long in need of the kind of scrub that is being done to figure out how we can do things better. And I think most of us support that effort, and we will, with our individual states.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. What is this? The only recommend changes lyrics for fashion. They're singing, so I don't think I can play this, so I won't. Fuck around and find out. Georgia Representative Rick McCormick faces boos at town hall. I mean, every representative is just getting booed as they go around the way. Let's listen to this.
I believe you know the rest of his speech. Something about give me liberty. It's clear from all the writings of our founding fathers that our great republic was never meant to be ruled by a dictator nor a king. Imagine my shock and pure horror when I woke up to find that our president had given himself tyranny.
Do you have a question for the Go ahead, sit down. Thank you.
I mean, she went on, so let's listen to what he responded.
Tyranny. When you talk about presidential power, I remember having the same discussion with Republicans when Biden was elected. The funny thing is, you're sitting here and a lot of you would probably say those January 6s who are yelling just as loud as you.
I mean, you can't even understand what he's saying at this point. He's being booed so much. Let's see if they shut up by this.
It used to be that federal funds only made up 1/3 of the money spent, and states was 2/3. It's more representative of your money and your money spent. That's better. Always push government down to the local level.
We're not going to listen to him talk the whole time. But then, of course, you clear this, and it's totally something different. That's what we're saying. The hypocrisy is real. Like, get it together. Oh, this was funny because this gets to mix reality TV with politics for me. So Tamara's husband, Adam, and y'all know Tamara is usually the twin we don't fuck with. Well, her simpleton husband, Adam Housley, commented on the potential ban of junk food purchases with food stamps. You know that they were saying that you're no longer going to be able to purchase junk food and things like that with SNAP, food stamps, and all of that stuff. So Adam goes on a Twitter rant that he likes to do ever so often, and he just starts spewing a whole bunch of lies. And I don't understand why he thought he wasn't going to get caught up in this, because he does realize Black people who have really been on food stamps, we gonna see this, right? And we know that this is not how it goes down, right? So it was the simple fact of the point that he had to lie to this degree, talking about he worked at his family's store, and people would come in and buy this, that, and the third, and buy junk food, whatever, with the food stamps, and then want to pay cash for the liquor and the beer and all of this stuff. And then he goes on to say, and then we had to fact check the time and his age, and if he was really in a store and couldn't even work in a store then. And so when that was fact checked, he had to change it to, well, he was always there, or he was babysat there, or he went there after school, or something about that. So the lie just kept moving and moving and moving. And the lies were not even as bad as the bullshit that he was saying. And that just goes to show why we don't fuck with Tamara, because this is your husband. This is who you stick beside. And it's just quite disgusting. You ain't nothing but a bed wench, honestly, through and through. Governor Hochul won't remove Mayor Adams for now because she don't want Governor Cuomo coming back. Look, I'm sure Cuomo did it a lot worse, because the white ones always seem to be able to get with a lot more, and they be challenging it. So I bet you that's what that's about, because she do not want the likes of Cuomo back. Nobody does. We won't even listen to that. McConnell to announce retirement from the Senate. Thank you. Let's have a celebration. Grimes says Elon Musk is ignoring messages about son's health. Of course he is, because in a minute we're going to see a video of him getting off a plane or a landing or something, and he completely forgets about Cody. If y'all know who Cody is, y'all know 2 weeks ago I named his son Cody for the reasons, and y'all should know if y'all was here. But if y'all don't, go back and look. But that is what I call Elon's son, that he holds as a shield everywhere he goes in public. This says tensions between Grimes and Elon Musk have escalated once again as the singer took to X to publicly demand that Musk addresses their son's urgent medical need. I'm surprised he ain't blocked her account yet. She better. I'm surprised she still got an account. On Thursday, Grimes shocked her followers when she posted an urgent message directed at Musk. She apologized for handling the matter publicly, but insisted that Musk's lack of response was unacceptable. TMZ reported, she said, "Please respond to our child's medical crisis. I am sorry to do this publicly. It is no longer acceptable to ignore the situation. This requires immediate attention. If you don't want to talk to me, you can please designate or hire someone who can, so we can move forward on solving this. This is urgent, Elon." I've never known for someone to just call him Elon, like he's actually a human or something. Anyway, the post was deleted within hours, but not before sparking widespread discussion online. Fans speculate about why Musk was allegedly unresponsive and what health issue their child could face. After deleting the post, Grimes replied to a fan's comment asking about the situation. She refused to disclose details about their child's medical condition, but confirmed that Musk had been ignoring all forms of communication. She said, "I'm not giving any details, but he won't respond to text, calls, or emails, and has skipped every meeting, and our child will suffer impairment." Damn, he looks more human with facial hair. He should keep the facial hair, like real talk. And these are what she's saying. She said, "Please respond to our child's medical crisis. I am sorry to do this publicly." We heard this already. But yep. That's what she said. What did she say? Yep, she said all of that. And he still ain't responded. Meanwhile, he's just gloating over the other baby mama, you know. Senator Mitch McConnell announces he will not seek re-election in 2026, 2 weeks after latest fall left him in a wheelchair. Ha, ha, ha. Let's watch it.
To today's date, February 20th.
Oh God, he
But
sounds.
I figured my birthday would be as good a day as any to share with our colleagues a decision.
He can barely talk. That's sad. I mean, hey, sit your ass down. You've done enough crooked shit. Get your hell on. Next, President Trump stated Wednesday that he may return 20% of the savings from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency Initiative to taxpayers, potentially providing thousands of dollars to those facing record inflation. We'll believe it when we see it. Fuck off. This was
everything. Their life becomes more affordable, and their standard of living improves.
How quickly? Because I think people are suffering now. You were still living under the Biden.
But Sean, you have states right now. You have some states that operate that way. They operate as well as any corporation. They really operate well.
Yeah.
They have surpluses. They
Texas is having surplus, for example.
When they look at New York and California and some of these places that should have an advantage. I mean, there's a big advantage. Or Pritzker does such a bad job in Illinois. It's horrible how bad he is. And they don't have that advantage. You know, New York has stock exchange and a lot of things, and California has the weather and the beautiful water and all the
great weather. The most expensive weather on earth.
Yeah, but
I like Florida.
Yeah.
But some states operate the way he's talking about.
Efficiently.
When you go into some of these states, you're going to find very little. You're going to find.
They just, you know what? I don't know what they do behind closed doors, but I am very suspicious of them in so many ways. Oh, let's listen to this guy.
My performance was good. I was
Their car payments go down. Their car payments go down.
I mean, it was an illegal firing. My performance was good. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. I was even one of those government employees that went every day of the week. I had to report every Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. That was my tour duty, and that's what I served. And here I am. I was a Trump supporter. When he talks about government waste and all that, yes, I'm behind it. I believe there is a lot of stuff in the government that needs fixing. And that's part of the reason why I actually wanted to work for the government, to help change the things that are wrong in the world, I thought that someone with like his business acumen would have come in with a fine-tooth comb and actually found it instead of coming in with a wrecking ball and destroying people's lives for no reason. It was an illegal firing.
Boom. You gonna fuck around? Y'all gonna continue to fuck around and find out. President Donald Trump hosts the Black History Month celebration. Yeah. We'll just look at this one more time.
A vindication.
I was never doing it, for anyone else or to try to prove anything to anyone else. I was just trying to be true to myself with my own opinions and talking about experiences that somehow then became really political. What was awesome, Leland, was to look around and to see hundreds and hundreds of people who look like me, who we had conversations today. And they said, in the past, I was afraid to talk about it. People who said their mothers have disowned them, who won't talk to them because they are supporters of Donald Trump. That hits me to the core. It brought tears to my eyes. There's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. Violent. You have your support group. Go with your other people. We appreciate white women. We appreciate y'all, but some things y'all need to leave to yourself. This is what I'm talking about.
Today that so many in the Black.
Trust Black women, they lead the way. Trust Black women, they lead the way. White women, stop abandoning your sisters. Trust Black women, they lead the way. Oh, we're mad as hell.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, drink. Yeah, we go drink our water and mind our business. Yep. I've seen enough of him at the convention. But this is funny. He said Putin can't afford.
I'm like, he can't afford me.
Yeah. I think you're worth more than Russia.
Think about it. I like that. Cool. Like sometimes, like
to end this war.
Say like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a bought asset of Putin.
Yeah.
I'm like, he can't afford me.
Yeah. I think you're worth more than Russia.
Think
Like, really? I mean, he probably can't. But Trump can, obviously.
I'm becoming an FBI director. This man already put out a hit list. He said, first thing of business, I'm going after the deep state. What is the deep state? The deep state is a hidden network of individuals in the government, the military, the intelligence agencies. So essentially, it's the higher ups, the elites. These people secretly influence or control national policies, regardless of who's really the face of it. Behind the scenes, they like, yeah, we running this shit. Kash Patel said, no mas. Look at this list, y'all. You're going to definitely have to pause it or rewatch it. Here go one.
So, I'm trying to see some of these people. Michael Atkinson, Lloyd Austin, Brian Austin, James Baker, Bill Barr, shit, John Bolton, Stephen Boyd, shit, Joe Biden on that list. You all, and like he's gonna say at the end, why didn't Joe pardon himself? You pardoned your son, you pardoned all these other people, but you didn't pardon yourself. Like, what was you thinking? John Brennan, John Carlin, Eric Sierra Mells, Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Elizabeth Dibler, Mark Esper, Alyssa Farah, Evelyn Farkas, Sarah Inger Flores, Merrick Garland, Stephanie Grissom, Kamala Harris, Gina Carpel, Fiona Hill, Curtis Hyde, Eric Holder, Robert Hur, Cassidy Hutchinson, Nina Jankowicz, Lois Lerner, Loretta Lynch, Charleston Cooperman, Kenneth McKenzie. And I can't, that's all of them together. Well, that's some more of them, but I cannot read half of these. Yeah, that one's too small. But that's a lot of names, y'all. That's a lot of names. So that means he's going after the black suits, the one that really is controlling Trump. Because we all know that the president is not the one really in control. Really. But you see, he is very much trying to take control. That's what I'm like, what are the elites doing right now? They know that this man is coming for him. So what are they doing? I'm just saying, like, y'all ain't that elite, because if y'all letting this man get this far, y'all doing something wrong on the other hand. Anyway, let's continue. Trump clashes with Maine governor at governor's meeting. The Maine governor isn't backing down. Governor Janet Mills and Attorney General Aaron Frey made it clear they won't comply with Trump's threat to withhold federal funds over the state's refusal to enforce his new order on transgender athletes. Now, this I don't like. So the Maine Principals Association and other staff officials say Trump's directive violates their anti-discrimination law, and they're ready to fight it out in court. Mills stated, "We will not be intimidated," while they called Trump's move illegal and vowed to defend Maine's laws. That shouldn't have been a law that passed in the first place, though, honestly, and I'm going to have to keep it a buck with that one.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that.
Child, you don't want to do that because I stand even behind this one. Ain't no way men should be playing the women's sports. Women shouldn't be playing with men's sports. No. Amid widespread reconfiguration of government agencies led by Elon's Doge, Donald Trump is considering dissolving the leadership of the Postal Service within days. The Postal Service, y'all. The Washington Post reported, according to the report, Trump is considering aborting the independent mail agency into his administration. Sparks fears widespread layoffs or changes at the top could throw trillions of dollars of e-commerce orders into turmoil. Of course, that's what he wants to do. He wants to go for the people at the top. That's where the money is. Moving right along. Former White House advisor Steve Bannon has caused a stir online for performing a controversial gesture at the Conservative Political Action Conference,
in which he closed out chanting and briefly making a gesture that caused a stir online. The moment quickly sparked backlash, adding yet another controversy to the growing list surrounding Trump's inner circle. Bannon told the Daily Mail the gesture
was a wave to the crowd,
and that the reaction is evidence of how petrified media establishments are of him. Only time will tell if this is just a coincidence or a pattern, because another...
No. Luigi arrived at court today, y'all. I mean, he ain't really part of politics, except the fact that, you know, he is part of politics a little bit. But, you know, let's just look at him and just have that moment. Let's see. Every rational person on the planet watching.
please arrest him. Simon says arrest him. Arrest him.
Like, arrest him. Oh, more Luigi. Okay, Trump. Eggs. I'm hearing so much about eggs. You'll figure it out, Lord Jesus.
Eggs, you'll figure it out. You got to figure something out fast. But and we inherited all of the problems. You know, at some point, a few months down the road, we won't be able to say it's so much us. But the big things, really, we can blame other people for, to allow criminals into our country at levels that nobody's ever seen before, to allow people from jails to have countries from all over the world be allowed to empty jails into an open border. They empty jail.
There you go, stuttering again. See, when you get to stuttering, I'm done talking to him. A federal judge on Friday largely blocked sweeping executive orders from President Trump that seek to end government support for programs promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. Judge Adam Embelson in Baltimore granted a preliminary injunction blocking the administration from terminating or changing federal contracts they considered equity-related. Embelson found that the orders likely carry constitutional violations, including against free speech rights. Trump signed an order his first day in office directing federal agencies to terminate all equity-related grants or contracts. He signed a follow-up order requiring federal contractors to certify that they don't promote DEI. The plaintiffs, including the city of Baltimore and higher education groups, sued the Trump administration earlier this month, arguing the executive orders are unconstitutional and a blatant overreach of presidential authority. They also allege the directives have a chilling effect on free speech. Still at this association, my goodness. Here he is talking about suggests the idea of Canada becoming a 51st state. Like, get over yourself. Here, the NCAA has complied immediately. What's good? That's good, but I understand Maine is the governor of Maine here. Oh, yeah, that's that again. They went through it. Trump supporter Danielle Carter reveals why she supports banning DEI and cutting Black history being taught in schools. Let's see what her logic is, shall we?
No, I love the whole concept because you got to understand, it started with the DEI Act didn't benefit us. I've been trying to tell people on Facebook before all of this that for 2 years, 3 years now, when they tried to push that garbage on us during the lockdown, I've been trying to tell them, you got to see what's happening. And yeah, you got to see what's happening. That DEI, that don't benefit us. They bringing all these illegals in. They're now, if you notice, it's brown and black, people of color, marginalized communities. So all Asians, those are the people that's getting all the DEI work, and we're only 4%. They use our plight.
How do you feel about the Trump administration banning Black history?
Sometimes people don't know exactly what they're getting until they've got it. I've heard some people talk about FAFO, and now.
I mean, I just don't understand where she was going with that, honey.
I think people are finding out what Trump meant. He said everything he was going to do. He said he wanted to be a dictator on day one, and people might not have understood what that meant, but now they are seeing what that means. And so I think, as we go into 25,
I mean, how can you not know what a dictator is either, though? A dictator is one who dictates. My goodness. We're going to continue and move on. This dude here, Enrique Tarrio, whatever, the former Proud Boys leader granted clemency by President Trump last month, was arrested outside the U.S. Capitol and charged with assaulting a female protester. His arrest followed an appearance on Capitol Hill with several other members of the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers for a press conference. Meanwhile, he's trying to become mayor or governor, wherever the hell he had all his bullshit happen at. But let's look in.
Like this that ends up being a federal case allows Donald Trump to come in and re-pardon these individuals. This is exactly the kind of risk of encouraging and immunizing violence, at least on federal cases that we have reported. On Capitol Hill, some of these pardoned January 6 convicts returned basically to the scene of their crime.
We are announcing a lawsuit against the DOJ.
Woo! Yeah! We're going to take this up to the previous DOJ leadership.
No such lawsuit has been filed as of this hour. The Proud Boys leader, Tarrio, was also arrested again by Capitol.
So is your boy going to give you another pardon? I mean, and this is what they're talking about, where they want that pardon that they got for January 6th, people. The ones that got that pardon, this is what they're talking about when they say that they are trying to get this pardon to be part of anything they have ever done and plan to do in the future. You know how crazy that sounds? Like, tell us you about to do some shit without telling us you about to do some shit. This is Donald Trump saying, Polyalert.com says, looks like a purge is happening at the Pentagon tonight. And Donald Trump tweets, whatever he did on whatever platform he be on. I don't know. I don't follow him anywhere. But he says, I want to thank, here we go. We get into this. This is a pisser right here. I want to thank General Charles C.Q. Brown for over 40 years of service to our country, including as our current chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff. He is a fine gentleman and an outstanding leader, and I wish him a great future for him and his family. Today, I am honored to announce that I am nominating Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Raising Kane to be the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. General Kane is an accomplished pilot, national security expert, successful entrepreneur, and a warfighter with significant intelligence and special operations experience. And this is when Caitlin Collins was even saying that a major and a long rumored purge is underway at the Pentagon tonight after President Trump ousts the Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman of Security, Hexel fires the Chief of Staff, the Chief of the Navy, the Vice Chief of the Air Force, and says he's requesting nominations for Judge Advocates General for the Army, Navy, and Air Force, indicating they'll be replaced. My goodness. Meteorocracy. Trump just fired 4-star General C.Q. Brown First Black chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, replacing the higher-ranking Black general with a lower-ranking white man with a name he likes. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, this is that man's arrest again. We don't need to see that. Oh, this is a leaked audio call where African delegates and monkeys in call with Nixon. Are we not surprised? We'll listen a little bit.
And they capture the two men using racist language. Here's White House correspondent Paula Reed.
President Richard Nixon recorded himself talking to then California Governor Ronald Reagan in October 1971, the day after the United Nations voted to recognize the People's Republic of China. Reagan had phoned Nixon at the White House to vent his frustration at African delegates who celebrated the vote.
Last night, I tell you, to watch that thing on television, I did. Yeah. To see those monkeys from those African countries. Damn them, they're still uncomfortable wearing shoes.
The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation said today, if he said that 50 years ago, he shouldn't have, and he would be the first person to apologize. After talking with Reagan, Nixon called Secretary of State William Rogers and adopted Reagan's racist language.
He saw these cannibals on television last night, and he said they weren't even wearing shoes, and he says here the United States is going to submit its fate to that.
Later that month, Nixon laughed at these comments from his best friend, Bibi Rebozo.
You know, that reaction on television proves how they ought to be still hanging from the trees by the tail.
Even in 1971, that language would have shocked the general public. President Trump has, of course, come under fire for his racist tweets, but he said yesterday he is the least racist person there is.
Oh my God, when they say that shit, I want to do something. I swear. Elon Musk security detail gets deputized. The U.S. Marshal Service has deputized members of Elon Musk's private security detail, which means they will now have certain rights and protections of federal law enforcement agents. We're not going to even listen to that. We're over our time limit. Donald Trump announces the firing of General C.Q. Brown. Just want to show this man and see who this man is now, who's going to be the one next. He looks like a piece of shit, and both of the bags under his eyes. Sad news, USDA suspends scholarship program for students at historical Black colleges. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has suspended its scholarship program aimed at supporting students from rural and undeserved Black backgrounds attending historical Black colleges and universities, according to the program's website. The 1890 Scholars Program, designed to increase agriculture students at the 19 federal-funded land-grant HBCUs, now displays a banner reading, "Suspended pending further review." The USDA did not respond to requests for comment. Of course they didn't. In 2024, the agency allocated $19.2 million in scholarships to 94 students. Representatives Alma Adams of North Carolina condemned the suspension, stating, "This is a clear attack on an invaluable program that makes higher education accessible for everybody." She added, "This program is a correction to a long history of racial discrimination within the land grant system, not an example of it." The suspension has been noted on the program's website since at least February 16th. Goodness God. That's governor in Maine again. This is Cuomo's brother, Chris Cuomo, talking to Tom Homan.
But isn't there something more selective about this than all burglars are the same? All illegal entrants. Do you really believe they're the same?
No, absolutely not. And that's why we're prioritizing public safety threats and national security threats. And most of those non-criminals that are in ICE detention are one of two things. They're the few that cross the border and we end the catch and release, so we detain them and remove them. Or most of them are collateral arrests when we're in sanctuary cities looking for the bad guy. And we have given ICE instructions. When you look for the bad guy and you find others with him, you will arrest them because they're in the country in violation of law. Last administration told ICE agents, You can't arrest somebody for just being in the country illegally. Unless they have a serious criminal conviction, you can't arrest them. And that is a fact that's in writing. That's what Secretary Mayorkas said. He rewrote federal statute as a secretary, which you can't do. So look, I've said it from day one. Sanctuary cities, let us in the jail. More agents in the jail means less agents in your neighborhoods. Rushing more guys in the jail means we got going in the neighborhood.
Okay, I've heard enough. But yeah, this is just him going on and said defending ICE's focus on the public safety and national security threats, stating that illegal entrants into the U.S. are absolutely not all treated the same. Sure, Jan. Attorney General was sworn in, Kash Patel, as the 9th FBI director for the narrow Senate confirmation vote. He did it. Here we go again. Trump fired General CQ. After taking credit for President Obama's economy on day one of his first term and claiming President Biden's economy was doing well 6 months ago, only because people were expecting him to win, President Trump is now saying the current economy can't be attributed for him for 6 months to a year. Okay, well, we'll see what's going on for 6 months to a year because we already see what's going on right now. This is 2 years before Elon Musk trapped him as part of Doge. Edward Korstein, then 17, was the subject of a heated dispute between executives at the Arizona-based cybersecurity firm, where he was intern. Korstein, who referred to himself as Big Balls, was later fired from the company. Okay, y'all know I've been waiting to reach this moment because if anyone who's been watching this know that I loathe this little piece of shit because he's only 19 years old and he has access to my shit. My shit. I don't like that shit. So anyways, now we're starting to find out. I knew I had a feeling. And now, whew, I was right, you piece of shit. And not only that, while we're here talking about him already, other news just came out about that little turd that his grandfather was a KGB spy. Okay? So you tell me this little piece of shit isn't about to do some shit. Don't tell me he is not. Let's just listen a little bit. Sorry.
Access to the network in the past and everything as an enemy, or do we want more allies?
Path says Korstein was permanently terminated a short time later. We also reached out to Doge and Korstein, and we haven't heard back. But Korstein reportedly said he had done nothing contractually wrong during his time at Path.
Why?
Contractually wrong. Really? But yeah, this little piece of shit, he ain't no good already. 19 years old. Watch out for him.
Don't talk to, I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way.
I am the king.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king.
Yes, that is quite a similar, yeah. This is so sick. I want to silence the voice in my head, believes it could be true. What is this? I don't even remember what this is.
But at the start,
what are two clips that give off the same energy?
I made what I think is a startling observation about Elon Musk. And it may just be the mama bear in me, but at the start of Elon getting very involved with our government, at least in a public way, whenever he is out in public, he does this. He does this. And 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 I don't think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden, of all of his children and his historical reputation of being an offhands dad, that now he's carrying around a shield with him.
Something to think about. So evidence is growing that Russia is sending its wounded troops back into the front lines to fight in a practice that Western officials have called recycling. What? CNN's Nick Patnwall speaks to a former Russian soldier and examines videos that show wounded men on the front lines. This is crazy. Let's listen from the beginning on this.
Startling observation.
This is a Russian soldier trying to run at the front line, but he seems to be on crutches. Probably wounded earlier, barely able to move, and regardless, a sitting target for a Ukrainian drone. Now, evidence is growing that Russia is sending its wounded troops back to the front line to fight, even those who can't walk. Recycling, Western officials have called it. Now, these are documents found by Ukrainians on the bodies of dead Russian soldiers on the Eastern Front line, showing some of them recently injured before they were sent back to the front to die. Dragged into an ambulance here in video from outside a Russian military hospital is a patient. Inside, once the vehicle is moving, he exposes the injuries that, in almost any other army, would keep him in hospital.
Это 8 часов жесткой тряски. Мне уже очень больно было. Вот. Хочу показать, что у меня нету пальца. Вот, вчера также зашивали.
It's crazy. They are sending their wounded people back to the front line. President Trump has shut down the National Law Enforcement Accountability Database, a nationwide system tracking misconduct by federal police officers. Wow. The database was one of the most significant accountability measures established after the 2020 Black Lives Matter protests. Oh my God, they about to Rodney King us all now. The database, which was proposed by Trump during his first term, was created via executive order by President Biden when he took office to prevent officers with records of misconduct from moving between agencies unchecked. It included disciplinary records from nearly 150,000 federal officers across 90 agencies, helping to ensure accountability and public safety. They just about to do whatever they want to do now, and then if they get fired, they just gonna go to the next place and get hired because it don't matter now. There will be no tracking. That's what he wants. He wants to keep those ones on the street because he wants those ones. Don't y'all fucking see it. Oh, I am not listening. He scares me. He's scary. But listen to him.
Not be allowed to continue. Our national security mission is equally as important. Anyone that wishes to do harm to our way of life and our citizens here or abroad will face the full wrath of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
That is a full threat. So what he's got going on is anyone that wishes to do harm to our way of life and our citizens, we're here abroad, will face the full wrath of DOJ and FBI. If you seek to hide in any corner of this country or planet, we will put the world's largest manhunt and we will find you and we will decide your end state, not you. If that is not a threat, like what in the hell? This is crazy. Oh, this was rich.
And I see all of these amazing looking Black people at the White House. And that shit hit me hard just now. I think I'm done with politics for a while. And I'm shutting down my keepsake organization. All of this stuff, I appreciate all of y'all for giving to my organization and helping me with this. Today, I will be delivering it. Well, no, excuse me. Sometime next week, I will be delivering this stuff. And after that, I'm done. And I'm serious because I wasn't looking forward to anything. You know, I didn't need other people to see me. I don't need Donald Trump to see me. But to be invited to something and then the invitation was ripped from me at the last minute, that hurts. So I'm literally done with it all. And a lot of people may not understand, and that's fine. But after you put in the work that I put in to be a voice for so many people and to constantly be shitted on, you know, y'all, I was fine until I got...
Come here. This is how it started.
Let me breathe. Oh my God, y'all, guess what? I'm too excited. I can't hold this shit in. Listen, I got invited. Terrence K reached out to me via Instagram. And I don't usually check my message, but something told me to check my messages because it's too dang on me to up in there looking for a sucker, baby. You understand me? And I checked it. And he was telling me about the
you've been on TikTok for.
Ah, and this is her now. Honey, what did you think? Russia attacked, but they shouldn't have let them attack. This is what Trump is saying. He's defending Putin, I guess. I don't know. This is so weird between them. But Russia attacked, but they shouldn't have let them attack because they would have attacked if you had people that knew what they were doing. Joe Biden is a very dumb man. I said, you know what? I think this guy's going to cause a war. And that's what happened. Putin could have been talked out of that so easy. You don't get enough of talking to about Putin like he a bitch.
That's what happened. And I will tell you, Putin could have been talked out of that so easy, but they didn't know how to talk.
So, Mr.
He would have
President,
been talked out of that war so easy.
you
but
have
they didn't know how to talk.
right, but
they
you-
said all the wrong things. And I'm not trying to make Putin like nicer or better. I'm just telling you the fact that war should have never happened. Putin would have never gone in.
and we'll see what
Now,
It's just mind blowing. I cannot.
Who always say he don't miss. This is probably going to be the one that you consider a miss. Why? Because I know a lot of us believe, and rightly so, that we don't owe white people an educational explanation.
Let's
now
get this from the beginning.
Russia attacked.
There's a good chance that if you're black, you're probably not going to like this post. And a lot of you who always say he don't miss. This is probably going to be the one that you consider a miss. Why? Because I know a lot of us believe, and rightly so, that we don't owe white people an educational explanation of ourselves. But I was challenged, and I'm not one to walk away from a challenge. Since all I ever talk about is what white people have done wrong to black people, I was dared to talk about what black people have done to white people. Bang. But I gotta say, the fact that transparency and accountability are so rare to you that you think it's some kind of challenge. You're daring me to do a thing that you will not do for yourselves speaks volumes about your character, my friend. That said, without further ado, I'm only gonna say this once and one time only. One thing that black people have done to white people, I will say
I love it. Too dumb to resist. Damn shame that these people can vote for policies that affect others and destroy lives, yet they don't even understand what they're voting against. Turns out they got played to even vote against themselves. So let's hear some dumb Trump supporters, shall we?
not gonna like this post, and a lot of you who always.
What is critical race theory for people that don't understand it?
See, I really don't even know. I'm assuming. Can you explain it a little bit to me, honestly?
Yeah. Not to drill this point home, but people that are involved in fracking, what are they doing?
I don't know.
What is the deep state?
Good question. You know what? I don't know. I've never met them. They're real secretive to some bitches.
What is it? What does it stand for?
The DEI?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Do you think we should ban DEI?
That's debatable.
What is it?
That's a good question.
For people that don't understand, what is DEI?
Well, they need to really dig in and find out what it is.
Everybody
You know,
needs to figure
everybody
it
eats hamburgers, but nobody knows where the meat is coming from. So find out what kind of meat you're eating.
It's cows.
But
and that's what the DEI is.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
Go Trump! Yeah.
Oh my God, they are just about remedial as they come. This is a very good intake.
People have revolutionized poverty and made it look so fucking cool that people think we like it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
I think that black people have made
That's a
poverty
fucking
look
bar.
so cool that people think we fucking like it, bro.
And-
We don't like it. We're
also-
just making the
also,
best
too,
of it.
Even the trauma that come from it, niggas aspire to.
Like
niggas want to be a tough nigga. You don't realize this nigga ain't tough. This nigga just watched his daddy die and his mama on drugs and like his life. That nigga traumatized. That nigga got PTSD. He ain't tough,
but he got a French
he's
George on,
traumatized, and it, to the point where a nigga could grow up in a home like this and aspire to be from the projects.
It's because unfortunately people think that blackness is tied to poverty. They think that the black experience is being poor. That's why when you have others who equate poverty to being black. Or I don't have any privilege. I grew up poor. Why the fuck do you think because you've been broke that you know what it feels like to be black? No, you don't. You've just been poor.
Well, I think that those people that say they're just liars. It's just like cut
I
and
think
dry.
that, like I said, we've made poverty look so easy and so cool that they think that
Well,
it's
we just are
synonymous.
cool. You're not gonna take the cool. You're not gonna take the
This
rhythm.
is for the cool.
Yeah, you're not gonna take the rhythm out of black people's steps. You're not gonna keep black people quiet. I think
we're always gonna be too loud when we were never meant to be heard.
too, and you're never gonna stop us from being creative. So we're gonna find ways to express. And it, just as much as you're gonna have somebody that is gonna be critical of America, you're gonna have somebody that celebrate their neighborhood.
Correct.
And both things exist. And I think that you get into glorification when you got record labels pretty much creating a blueprint for what our music should be.
Right.
And they putting it in a spreadsheet. This does well and this does
And
well.
they got a checklist.
And they got a checklist, and these words have to be mentioned, and this is the subject.
Okay, they're going off to other stuff now, but the whole thing about poverty and making it look cool, she was right on with that. Like right on with that. Elon now wants all federal worker employees to respond to his email detailing what we got done last week at work. I personally completed my assigned job requirements. Make noise, call your representatives. This is really what he wants.
Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. So I'm supposed to respond to Elon's email, basically justifying what I did at work last week. Y'all, this is some I need everybody to call.
We ain't calling no one. The 92% ain't calling a goddamn thing.
Going to fix it.
I'm sorry for
That's
my,
your fifth question.
I'm sorry for my
Elena,
interruption. Let me just follow up because you said something that wasn't true, which is you said that they have found before that they believe there have been tens of millions of people who are receiving money who are dead on the Social Security list. The same report that you referred to said that almost
Peter,
none of those individuals are receiving
Peter, did you watch
money.
the full clip of the interview that I
did watch
when
the
I
clip
said
and
that?
we've played it, correct.
And I said there are a lot of unanswered questions, and we suspect there could be tens of millions of
and
people.
I'm saying the IG report
so
says
you
that
just said
almost none
what
of
I
them.
said is not true. In fact, it was true. That's a suspicion that this administration has, and we're committed to finding out the
But
truth.
it's not based
Thank
in
you,
fact because
everybody.
it says
Have
it's
a
almost none of them have
about
received
the-
Social Security.
She couldn't take it. She couldn't take it. Called her out, and she couldn't even take it. Like, bitch. It's yeah, and Alex Bermuda says they are going to deliberately lie to you every day. And they have lied every single day consecutively. This is a powerful speech of Wanda Ellis Taylor, who is one of the excellence of the arts honorees. So let's just listen to what she had to say because I think it was great.
I want the land that the structure is on. Problem that needs to be fixed. And President Trump,
It's death to me. I don't want to hear that. I'm not interested at no seat at no table. I don't want the seat or the table. I want the structure. I want the land that the structure is on.
Boom. Because I'm playing the music, I don't want to keep on playing it. But she said what she said. Fashion Nova says, if you have baby fever, take a nap. If you enjoy the nap, don't have kids. I don't know why I have this here. That was a mistake. 927 billion was wiped out from the stock market today, which was 3 days ago, and it's the worst day of 2025. I don't even understand this shit, but everything has went down. Everything. Look at this. Like, look at this. Even Amazon was down. Like, how Amazon down? Like, what the fuck? Y'all know the blackout is the 28th. Don't buy nothing. Buy what you need slowly but surely now, and don't buy nothing on the 28th. Nothing. Donald Trump faces when when the turbulence. Look at his face when the turbulence happened. Yeah, you thought you was a goner, nigga. You thought you was a goner. Elon Musk, Alrock AI said Trump deserved the death penalty after Jeffrey Epstein via inquiry. So, Elon Musk AI chatbot Grok sparks controversy with death penalty remarks. Elon Musk AI company XAI recently faced criticism after its Grok AI chatbot suggested that both Musk and President Donald Trump deserve the death penalty. Users reported that when prompted with specific questions, Grok initially named Jeffrey Epstein and, upon correction, identified Trump and Musk as deserving such punishments. Had to correct that because Jeffrey Epstein's supposed to be, right? Yeah. You wonder. Anyway, XAI's engineering lead, Igor Babushkin, acknowledged this as a really terrible and bad failure. That was no failure. And confirmed that the issue has been patched. How do you patch that? You taught it to say something else? You programmed it to say something else? Anyway, it goes on to say the chatbot now refrains from making such judgments. Oh, the truth? Now refrains from telling the truth? I don't know. I don't want to hear anything about. I don't care how angry you are. We went through that already. Kamala was honored at the NAACP.
Organize, mobilize, we educate, and we advocate. Because you see, our power has never come from having an easy path. Our strength flows from our faith. We use our power, we organize, and while we have no illusions about what we are up against in this chapter in our American story, this chapter will be written not simply by whoever occupies the Oval Office, nor by the wealthiest among us. The American story will be written by you, written by us, by we the people. And while we have no illusion.
Yes, Kamala, very much deserving, girl. I don't want to listen to him anymore, but he said, Commissioner Boston asked him, you say you doubled down on not helping law enforcement's Office of ICE and coming Boston is bringing hell with me. We're not even going to go through that. We have been here for 2 hours already. We're just going to skim through the rest of everything. Mayor Eric Adams sues Trump now over $80 million withdrawal from the New York City bank account designated for immigrant services. So City Mayor Eric Adams filed a lawsuit against former Trump and his administration demanding the return of $80 million that was wrongfully withdrawn from a Citibank account. The funds had been allocated by Congress for immigrant services, but the White House reversed the transfer after Elon Musk's public criticism on Twitter. Musk has accused FEMA of violating the law by allocating the funds for lodging non-citizen migrants, specifically at the Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan. Adams expressed frustration, stating, without a doubt, our immigration system is broken, but the cost of managing an international humanitarian crisis should not overwhelmingly fall onto one city alone. City attorneys argue the Trump administration's unlawfully seized the funds, citing a violation of federal banking laws and regulations. Corporation Counsel Morel Good-Truffant accused the federal officials of trying to mask their unlawful actions, claiming their real intent was to disrupt the very purpose of the shelter and service program meant to assist immigrants. The funds had been allocated for humanitarianism purposes, yet were mistakenly tied to luxury hotels. Despite FEMA's approval, the city is now seeking the return of the funds and preventive measures against future seizures. Well, we'll see how that goes, depending on who continues to be the mayor or who becomes mayor, right? We've seen her already. Yep. So guess which two were fired from the Joint Chief of Staff? We already know CQ was, and we know who the other one is. Look at. Joy Reid's. Oh, here we go. We're getting to the. Joy Reid's embassy show canceled and major shakeup. This really hurt my heart. She had her last one last night. She looks absolutely beautiful in purple on it. She went out with poise and grace like a true queen. Oh, reload. Why does it keep doing this? We were almost through it all, and it just wanted to do that. That's the computer like, hurry the fudge up. You've been on here way too long. We're almost done. We're on 2 days ago. We almost there. Almost there. Go back over there. There we go. We were here already. Boop, boop, doop. We just heard Kamala. Just saw that. Yes, Joy. We're gonna get back to her because more has happened. President Trump of Ukraine. I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up, and I'm gonna try and get the war settled, and I'm gonna try and get all that death ended. We're asking for rare earth and oil, anything we can get, but we feel so stupid. It affects Europe. It doesn't really affect us. And we're going to go into that because they had that meeting. So what is this? Family is everything. We'll go through this another time. Joyce White Vince says, what 5 things did you do last week? They're having fun with this. They said, put mustard on the beat, hit my little sister. Wow, 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 wow. I'm going to do my stuff. Hold on. Why are you trolling like a bitch? You not like us. Zelensky says that he'd resign if it brings peace. He's resigned from being minister or whatever he is for them, if it brings peace for anything, but only in exchange for NATO. He ain't going out like no punk.
Trump. It's never was in such.
He kind of cute.
You know, our countries, first of all, our countries have strategic relationship and we are partners. And I think it's not in our rights, like presidents, to lose partnership between our countries.
But is you gonna resign? Is that what he gonna make you do? Don't put stuff in his head.
2016. I liked his words, and I like he did everything he said he was going to do, and he did it.
So what are some of those things that he said and then he did? Maybe just one thing. One thing he said and then he did.
He caught me off guard there. I
just one. Just one.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. When did you decide he was such?
He never did.
Once said that white supremacy was the single greatest terrorist threat to our homeland. What do you feel is the greatest threat to the American people's safety?
We look at the last 4 years of open borders, where we had tens of millions of people come.
So, Lord Trump, what do you feel is the greatest threat to the American people's safety? And Tulsi Gabbard, specifically the threat of, well, we'll listen to what she said, but that's who she is.
Across our borders, many of whom we don't know who they are or what their intentions are. And very specifically, the threat of radical Islamist terrorism here within our country is higher.
I'm sorry, but how radical is it Islam terrorism here still? I can't even look at her. You're a pretty girl, but moving right along, I can't listen to you. Elon's money grab. Breaking in a sunny moment, Representative Crockett exposes nearly $1 billion. We heard her earlier. Go ahead, girl. Oval Office in America. This was funny.
You're not the president, you orange piece of shit. Elon, he's doing it again. This isn't possible. The child is only 4 years of age. I just wiped the biggest fucking booger on your desk, you butternut butt much. Elon, he's still a bully. Oh, yes, you in the back there, you have a question?
It's just sad. Like, everyone's getting in on it. Oh, this spoke volumes. Look at this. Music is playing, so I'm not going to turn the audio on. Boom. Let's see that again. Boom. The shakeup at the Pentagon still firing top military lawyers, all of that jazz. Rudy Giuliani shots for hair dye in New Jersey in a wheelchair cart. Is he really looking for hair dye? Yes, because there are hair ties right there. So he is definitely in the hair care aisle. You were warned, Project 2025. An American Airlines flight from JFK Airport to Delhi had to divert to Rome and landed under fighter escort after a bomb threat on board, according to reports. Still having issues, I see. This says, was listening to someone talk about the people who are regretting their votes, and they dropped a quote I will never forget. They are only crying now because they are being treated how they voted for other people to be treated. Boom. That needs to go on the shirt. Agencies that regulate Tesla have faced cuts from Musk's Doge. Isn't that irony? The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is losing about 10% of its workforce through firings and buyout offers, according to people briefed on the cuts. The cuts stem from Elon Musk's Doge and his efforts to radically reshape the federal government. Many of the cuts employees worked on safely areas that would impact Tesla Musk car. You know, Tesla, he didn't even find Tesla. Nope, he did not. And I think I got that in here somewhere soon. Yosemite National Park staff hangs distressed flag on El Capitan to protest federal budget cuts. Power to the people, rebel resistance. Elon Musk just fired FDA team that was investigating his company that wants graft chips on human brain. So that's coming. Get ready for that. Who's ready for a graft chip in their brain? Who's going to foot the bill for that? Who's going to have to pay for that? Who's paying for that? Since y'all cutting Medicare and stuff, who's paying for that? At a recent Kootenai Country Republican Central Committee legislation town hall in Idaho, Teresa Bourne, whoever, was forcibly removed after voicing concerns over potential medical. Oh yeah, she went off.
But not right now. And because you're not smart enough to know that, you're just.
Someone says this is a scene straight out of The Handmaid's Tale, brought to you by a town hall in Idaho. Again, a woman with more courage than any man in that room.
Get up or be arrested. So you know, folks, when our
we don't need to watch that because she doesn't deserve it. I'm sure McDonald's is rethinking their decision. McDonald's sees worst sales drop since pandemic amid Latino freeze and Palestine boycotts. You think? ICE plans to monitor social media for negative comments and any criticism. Now we can't say nothing. They'll probably take this off. Former federal employees from various organizations who were affected by Trump mass firing share what happened.
I oversaw cybersecurity for the VA.gov websites, and about a third of USDS, including me, were fired last week. Without people like me ensuring that VA.gov is secure, the private financial and healthcare data of Americans' veterans is at risk of being stolen, sold to the highest bidder, and used to harm people.
We are standing in Yosemite National Park for the past 10 months.
And that's where they hung the flag at that we had just seen. Yep. Now he's confronts Michael Fanone, the ex-Capitol officer, fires back, you're a traitor. He is not about to seek any type of office. I don't even know why he's trying. An ICE prosecutor has been unmasked as the operator of a white supremacist X account. No shit. Bloodbath at MSNBC. Alex Wagner and Joy Reid out on their on-air shakeup with Jen Psaki, poised from major promotion. Yeah, that bitch. What he's saying, this was funny.
It says, we need help. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, Meteor Man.
All of them. Like, we need help. Dun, 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 dun. Come through. Superhero case, where you at? We need y'all. He left his child.
When I watched this rocket come down about 3 months ago,
You're leaving your little boy.
we don't have too many. When I watched this rocket come down about 3 months ago,
You're leaving your little boy.
That's sad. He's such an absent father. It didn't take him long. I guess he didn't feel like he needed a shield there. He was with his people, amongst his people. So I guess he didn't feel like he needed his shield. Because any other time he got him clutched like a pearl. There he goes. This kid again. Told you, grandkid of the KGB spy. What the entire fuck? Yeah. So Edward Korenstein, known as Big Balls, received attention for his role in Doge, given that he's just 19 years old and has been part of the task force set up first buddy Elon Musk. Korenstein has been background in cybersecurity and has connections to cyber criminal networks. Influencing his role in government, he is claimed to be the grandson of Valery Martinov, a former KGB spy, which raises concerns about his access to sensitive information. You think? Despite all of this, he was recently appointed as a senior advisor in the State Department, despite his controversial background. Wonderful. Doesn't even care. Over the weekend, federal employees received the email asking them what they did at work. Failed to respond will be taken as resignation. President Trump called the email ingenuous during a bilateral meeting in the Oval Office with France's presidential Emmanuel Macron. A group of federal unions in challenging the email barrage, saying the demand that employees respond is unlawful. And now it's going back and forth between Kash Patel saying that his people don't need to respond to the email. It's a lot going back and forth right now. And I'm loving it. Like, get your popcorn. Here goes Sean Duffy again. And he says his whole movement is potentially going to make people go, I'm going to come back to work earlier. I'm going to stay later. I'm going to look at what Donald Trump wants me to accomplish because he won the election. I'm going to fight and work to make sure I help him accomplish that. I work for the president. You're a fucking douche. Look at this dude.
Entity. It's a private entity.
Will that
Owned by the robber barons that started this country, who manipulate the currency to their advantage, and that needs to be tackled. Again, I'm not the economic guru. I just know it's a problem, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the solution is, but it needs.
You just know it's a problem. That's where we're getting at. So the solution is getting Mrs. off the damn land Federal Reserve. You want to dismantle the Federal Reserve. That's what this is all about. Moving on. We're just going to listen to Joy real quick.
That what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted, and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues. And yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And I'm a church girl too. And those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud. My show had value.
Proud of you, Joy. You had value. Your show had value, and you had value, girl. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino says Trump should ignore court decisions that he disagrees with, causing a constitution crisis. Who's going to arrest him? The marshals? Trump controls them. I'm not about to listen to him. Just wanted to say that. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis calls for an end to the property taxes. Is this your property or not? You know, I don't even want to listen to this, but I was watching Funky Dineva. Shout out to Funky Dineva. I was watching Funky Dineva last night or the night before, one of them. And, you know, he lives in Florida. He was saying, don't let this even, because there is nothing wrong with property tax. This is the property tax does something. No one has a problem with paying it. It's reasonable. But y'all see right here that he commented. And he says, will never happen. Florida has no state income tax. So where will the revenue come from to run the state? One tax will get replaced with another. So, yeah, that's what he said. The Army Chorus performs Do You Hear the People Sing from Les Miserables during the 2025 Governor's Ball. Yeah, like it says, protest comes in many forms. And now you've got the Army Chorus protesting. Like, have you ever thought of that? Lauren Ingram doesn't think working for the government is a real job. We're not even going to listen to that. The Federal Aviation Administration has agreed to use SpaceX Starlink internet system to upgrade the information technology networks in use to manage the U.S. airspace. Woo! The devil is dancing tonight. He got his wish. This is what he has wanted all along. This is what he has been working toward this entire 2 weeks. Boom. Elon Musk has sealed his deal. Robot alien looking motherfucker. Anyway, the Federal Aviation Administration has agreed to use SpaceX Starlink internet system to upgrade the information technology networks in use to manage U.S. airspace, raising new concerns about conflicts of interest for CEO Elon Musk in one of his other roles, that of recommending funding cuts at federal agencies, including the FAA. So with this, we're going to find out, will the FAA be getting any cuts now that they have agreed to use his SpaceX Starlink? I bet you behind closed doors, they totally got this together and made a deal. If not, the FAA is hoping and praying that if they did this, that they won't be cut. Anyway, it goes on to say that the size of this contract was not immediately reported. SpaceX is a privately held space technology program greatly dependent on federal contracts, primarily from NASA. And Starlink satellite internet provides service for government and provide customers around the world. The contract comes while Musk is leading efforts to make deep cuts in federal government spending, including staffing cuts at the FAA. And some critics are raising question about the conflicts of interest over his role overseeing government agencies that are supposed to be regulating his business. That's the whole problem. This is what he has been wanting to do all along. This is what he asked Trump, can he do? You know, the conflict of interest that Trump said he didn't want, nor did Elon want yet. Now what? Joe Stafford resigns after being asked to dismantle critical government. You know what? This is the best news that has happened since they have took office. Huffington Post reports that more than 20 civil service employees resigned Tuesday from billionaire Trump advisor Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, saying they were refusing to use their technical expertise to dismantle critical public services. They go on to say that, in quote, we swore to serve the American people and uphold our oath to the Constitution across presidential administrations. The 21 staffers wrote in a joint resignation letter, a copy of which was obtained by the Associated Press. However, it has become clear that we can no longer honor these commitments. Man. And someone wrote, and I wanted to share this part. Someone wrote, Jay Helpful wrote, we need to stop referring to Doge as if it's a federal government agency. For that to happen, that would require an act of Congress to create it. Ain't that the truth? Because we are just acting like it is a government agency, like they're saying it is. And that's what the thing is. All of these acronyms that they are making is allowing people to not really see or understand or say out loud to themselves what this really is and what's going on here. So can we stop with all the acronyms? They know what they're doing. This was crazy. So a topless, I don't even think I can show this, but we'll just show this part. But a woman protesting the rise of Germany's populist right-wing party was busted for scrawling swastikas while completely topless and looking like Nazi leader Adolf Hitler. As you can see from this, the hair, imagine that person with a Hitler mustache. Looks exactly like him. You can go to the New York Post or the website to see this for yourself, but I just don't want them to say I showed something I shouldn't have seen. So we're going to keep going. This is all today. So we are at the end of the day. Thank you.
That's it. If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
That's it. If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
That's it. If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
That's it. If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love her. iPhone's voice to text feature displays word Trump when hearing racist. Lord, this was so crazy. The Apple's iPhone voice to text feature is in hot water, with users doing a double take after noticing it sometimes swaps out the word racist for Trump. That is crazy. How many people are actually saying the word racist from voice to text? Somebody try to let me know. Let me know if it works in the comments. Becca Balint says, I never thought I would see the day when our president would be a puppet for a dictator. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Cold, hard truth of it. Vladimir Putin is the aggressor. And I stand here on the floor to say our president will not rewrite the past. Putin has mercilessly continued this war for over 3 years now, a war that has led to immeasurable suffering for Ukraine and a shocking death toll of both Ukrainians and Russians. And the region is awash in blood because of him. And now the United States stands with Russia and North Korea against Ukraine and all of our allies in Europe. It's sick. We are standing with dictators and against our allies. I never thought I would see the day when our president would be a puppet for a dictator. To my Republican colleagues, did you ever imagine that you would be in a party that stands on the sides of dictators or on the sides of a country who kills journalists, with an authoritarian accused of war crimes, a man who assassinates his political opponents? Aren't you embarrassed by what you've become? It's
the gentleman's
revolting
time has expired.
to watch my colleagues side with Russia because Trump said so. I yield back.
Boom. She said a mouthful. Fox News, Marie Hart says, you see people in red districts going to town halls and saying, I have honorably served my country for 20 years and I got fired for no reason by Elon Musk. Yes, these are more people just having a hard time because they're just getting fired.
Most of the people I worked with at the CIA or the State Department were hardworking, patriotic, dedicated Americans. These federal workers aren't just in Washington, they're around the country. We had 1,000 Veterans Affairs employees fired by DOJ in the last few weeks, including some that manned the suicide hotline for veterans. We had FAA safety officers
That is crazy. You took the hotline away from veterans
because of bird flu. So moving fast and making public service employees feel like the enemy and make it seem like it's something that's dishonorable is very difficult for people across the country. And that's why you see people in red states and red districts going to town halls with their...
Okay, enough on that. But there you go. I don't even want to hear him. Trump administration restores HBCU agriculture scholarships after pressure from Senator Ossoff. Okay, Senator Ossoff, do something. The Trump administration has reversed course and reinstated federal scholarships for HBCU students studying agriculture after U.S. Senator John Ossoff pressed for immediate action. The funding part of the USDA 1890s National Scholars Program has been paused, sparking concern over its impact on students attending historically Black colleges and universities